Yeah, don't freak out.
Hello, everybody. It is Wednesday today. I have trouble keeping them together, but I am so excited. We are almost through our week of Canada United, but it has been such a joy to be able to join you guys every day and kind of just learn about some of the great businesses we have in Canada. Today, we are joining us is Pamela Young. She is a virtual assistant. And what's the name of your company?
Young's Virtual Solutions.
Oh, I love it. Keep it simple.
Yep.
So tell me, what was your background and how did you get to this place where you felt like you wanted to be a virtual assistant? Because I believe you've just recently launched the business. Is that correct?
That's true. That's true. I'm very new in being a virtual assistant, but I've really been an assistant of some form for all my career. Started in just general administration and I went into the legal field. So I was a legal assistant for many years. And then I had a short stint in an accountant's office. And then I ended up out at site working with the owners of one of the oil companies. So I was there until the wildfire hit. And unfortunately, we lost our home, but because of it, we were displaced for a bit. And unfortunately, I kind of had to reevaluate what I wanted to do. I was actually on maternity leave when the fire hit, so I had a young son at home, and it just became apparent that family is where I wanted to be. So now that he's getting older, he's almost 5, and I just kind of chose I wanted to be at home. I wanted to be there for those moments and be able to still use my skill set for all those businesses out there that need that extra little bit of help.
Yeah, so having a background as an executive assistant, I believe you were, right? And an executive assistant, correct me if I'm wrong, but an executive assistant is even like working with an executive. So instead of being, maybe just data entering one type of singular thing, you're even booking travel, restaurants, like kind of really a whole gamut of things for someone. Is that what kind of an executive assistant is, as opposed to like maybe like a receptionist or something?
Yeah, an executive is basically the go-to girl. It's their right-hand person that keeps them organized and keeps them ticking. And, we can manage calendars like nobody's business. And, we can do all the basic administrative stuff as well. But, we can organize events and all those little minute details that need to be done. And we can run them behind the scenes while they're focusing on what they need to do. So, we also kind of are able to adapt easily in different situations. We can hop in someone else's shoes and help their executive cover, what they need without really much training. So we kind of we adapt, right? The executives are kind of just jump in and go, and you can kind of figure it out for the most part as you go.
That's amazing. Yeah. I have a friend that is an executive assistant, and she's the most wonderful resource, because if I want to travel anywhere, she's done extensive research, because if an executive was traveling to that town, she would need to know not only where for them to stay that's good, but where for them to go out and entertain clients. So she would have all of the, like, this is the spa you go to, this is the restaurant you go to, this is where you go for drinks, these are the activities, and off the beaten trail things, right? She's such an amazing resource. Alana, if you're watching, it is you that I'm talking about. You're amazing. But she's so good at it, because she can literally, like you said, plan an event. She can, deal with marketing. She's dealing with products. She's dealing with travel bookings. She's dealing with scheduling. It's just amazing what they do. So
every day's different. We're juggling constantly.
Yeah, and now working virtually, you're working with a number of different clients. So how does that translate? Like, if someone doesn't know, like maybe they're like, okay, I have a business, I'm stressed out, I'm busy. what the heck would I use a virtual assistant for, and what does that look like?
Usually, so when someone is interested, usually I suggest sitting down, having a discovery call. And that's just kind of a casual conversation. I don't charge for it or anything. It's just, what are your pain points? Where is your biggest items of stress in your business? And what can you let go of? If it's something that's so time consuming, like dealing with emails, that's something that I can help organize your system, have templates in place, I could even field some of those for them. If that takes that bit of stress off their plate, it frees up so much other time for them to focus on the reason why they're there, their passion for their business. It gives them that time back to focus on that.
Yeah, I think so many business owners, a couple of things I might be saying, I can't afford a VA. It's only me. I need to just do it myself because it'll be cheaper. But you know what? Sometimes it's realizing that if you invest in someone that can take away those things from you and you could focus on more revenue generating activities, the payoff is going to be there, right? So you might not be making money or lots of money where you think, oh, I need to earn this certain level of income before I hire help, right? But instead, the reverse almost, if you can start with making sure that some of those non-revenue generating activities or things that someone else can assist you with are being done not with your time, now you can focus on even the mental power that's required for you to sort of like think, hey, maybe my idea is this, but we need to go like this, right? And if you're bogged down with tasks, you can't get to that level of thinking, right?
You're just managing day to day. And,
yeah.
The thing about virtual assistant is we're independent contractors, so we're not your employee, but we're a partner in your business. We want you to succeed just as much as you do, because you succeed, I succeed. And, what I always tell people is start small. A virtual assistant's a new concept to people. And, start with something you're comfortable letting someone help with, whether that's social media, whether, like I said, your emails, your whatever it is that is your pain point. Start small. And if you start seeing that value coming back to you, then you can expand. But, a virtual assistant's rate is typically higher than to hire an employee, but you're not paying for all those vacation and sick time. You're not paying for insurance. You're not paying for benefits. You're not, you're getting that productive time in less time. So it's actually worth it in the long run.
Yeah, and you're coming as an independent contractor, you're coming with your own space, your own technology, your own all of that, right? Which obviously costs money.
Yep. So they don't, I don't know every program out there. So, if they're using a program that they are willing to train me on, I'm happy to do that. I don't charge people for things that I need to learn, because that also helps me in my business as well. So, I'm open to like helping people in whatever capacity that they have set up already. And if they don't have something that's working for them, I can make suggestions on the other end, and maybe something that I'm using that really works. It's, like I said, it's that partnership. It's someone to bounce those ideas off of, someone to help you maybe look in a different way than you haven't thought before.
Yeah, it's so valuable because you always hear of people that are stuck working in their business and not on their business, right? And also sometimes maybe you're a plumber and you're great at plumbing, but maybe you're not great at social media or not great at answering emails or getting estimates out or all those different things. And maybe you don't need a full-time person yet, but you need help so that you can get to the next level, right?
Exactly. Yep.
It's admitting it. It's admitting it that's hard sometimes. It's scary, right? I love that you don't charge for you to learn something. That's so good, because I know me hiring people in the past, sometimes I feel like, my goodness, it takes me so much time to teach them how to do it. I don't even want to bother because whatever reason, maybe people don't stick around. Maybe people, you're paying them so much money to learn a program that, the payoff for investment is so much longer that it's almost a deterrent. So that's really cool that you approach it that way. I think is really neat because probably
things.
like you are expanding your repertoire, right? So now you have more transferable skills to help your other clients better. And yet the person that's getting the value up front isn't necessarily investing and fronting you that privilege either, right?
Agreed.
Yeah, that's really cool. And so your son, you have, obviously, I think you said you have one child, right?
Yeah. Yes, I have a 5-year-old boy. He's incredible.
It changes everything when we have kids. And so many ladies, I see, you see it all the time. What can I do to work from home? What can I do to make money? What can I do that I don't have to spend all my money on childcare? Like these are real barriers for moms, especially. I mean, dads too, but let's be honest, most of it still falls on moms. We are the ones that give birth. And so a lot of that primary care stuff still falls on us. And yet we do want to be able to do something productive, and we do want to be able to continue our professional life. And it's such an interesting idea how you've said, you know what, I'm going to make this work for me and my family. And build a business out of that. So how long did you have the idea before you said, you know what, I'm just going to do it? What was the moment?
It's actually been in my head lingering for quite a few years. It was probably sitting there before the fire, but I was out at site. I really enjoyed my job, and I enjoy what I do, and I know it's not everyone's cup of tea doing all those mundane tasks, but I'm good at it, so why not, right? After the fire, we had a little bit of a nightmare rebuild and all that, and I just got frustrated, and I said, I got to do what works for us. My husband works shift work out at site still, so I wanted to do something that works around his schedule, something that works around my son's schedule to give us more family time. And this gave me that opportunity. I mean, just this summer, I spent a good few weeks down at the trailer, and I worked from there. And I love the ability to do that. And, site's great, but this is kind of good too.
Yeah, all jobs. I mean, having a job is great, but having a job that fits your family is so interesting. And it's interesting that so for people that might be watching Not in Fort McMurray, in 2016 in Fort McMurray, there was a humongous wildfire. Our entire community of over 80,000 people were evacuated in a number of hours. And many of us lost homes or businesses because of it. And it was a real crisis. And people are still suffering from it today, financially and mentally, emotionally, all these different things. But it was I feel like this moment in time, we mark time now in town before the fire or after the fire. But this huge, huge crisis that everyone was in at the same time, and that we've all learned different things from. It's caused so many of us to reprioritize our lives. I know for me, we lost all of everything in our house, didn't burn down, but we lost everything in our house, which is a whole nother story. And then insurance and rebuilding and all these nightmares that come. But it's really made me rethink things, right?
Yes.
I've lost all the baby pictures. I've lost all of those things. And now when I think about what do I want, it changes things. We lived in a camper. With 3 kids and a dog until like November of that year. So, a number of months going to school, packing lunches, living in a camper, like an RV. And now I say, well, maybe we want to travel around the US. We've been playing with this idea when we're allowed to travel again of maybe we could do a different state a week or something, right? I would have never considered that if I hadn't lived in a camper by force and realized, hey, I could do this.
Yeah.
So fast forward to now, and the whole world is going through this big, huge traumatic time that's completely changing everyone's lives.
Yes.
And now we are again reevaluating what are the things that we want to keep from the old time, like pre-COVID, and what are the things that we want to take and create in this new world that we're entering. And so many people are reevaluating their lives. So many people are moving places. They're saying, I want to be with my family. I don't want to be commuting, or I don't want to be doing this thing. Or now they are able to remote work and they're moving locations. Yeah. And so I think what you're doing is almost like a sign of times to come. And people are adapting, and more people are going to be using services like you or offering services like you as we change the way that we live and we work. Mm-hmm. So you're like a trailblazer.
I don't know about that. There's actually thousands of virtual assistants out there. I find
there are.
That I didn't know that there was such a community before I started this. And the more I get into it, the more it just expands. But yeah, in Fort McMurray specifically, I don't think there's a lot of virtual assistants. There's a lot of hesitation because they're like, whoa, what is that?
Yes.
But it just imagine like, an assistant on wheels, like I can work wherever you need me to work. So It's not because there's flexibility. And the fight between the fire and the flood and COVID, and it's made us resilient. And I have really strived to be as positive as possible through all of it. And take the negative and run with it. Go with something and turn it around and make it positive. And that's what I focused on. And I think I'm getting there.
It's a good lesson. It is. Because things are happening, if we can reframe it, things are happening for us, not to us. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it. So yeah, now Fort McMurray's had a flood. One of my businesses, we've been completely shut down since April. It's been a new experience. We've done fires, we've done floods, we've done pandemics. I don't know what's next, but it's allowed us to rethink some of the things we're doing and the ways that we're working, because I don't want to go back just to the way that it was. I want to improve, and I want to be more mobile, and I want to be able to do different things. I'm able to work my wealth coaching business. I'm able to work all online now, which has been such a blessing. But that, like you were saying, the community of assistants that exist online, that is so needed, right? Because as we enter now a virtual environment, you're working from home, yes, you have a family, but it's not your professional colleagues. So building that community of people intentionally, I think, is really important, so that you can learn from each other and you could continue to grow. So how did you stumble across these communities?
Facebook's amazing. you type in virtual assistant and we all pop up. It's like we're listening for you. We're waiting for you. But it's just, whether it's Google, Facebook, Instagram, I mean, they're all over the place, and it's amazing what you can find when you're really looking. And it's such a new concept to people, and COVID has really brought this remote working thing to light. And there's virtual assistants who have been around for years prior, right? So now we're all like, oh, well, hello, you need us. We can
right. It's probably really helped your business in a way. Have you seen like people upticking more into it, being more open to it?
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, in Fort McMurray, people are still kind of figuring it out. But yeah, across Canada and in North America, I mean, there's so many people that use virtual assistants for years, and there's many companies out there that they don't have actual assistants, physical assistants in their office. And it depends on your needs, but I mean, really, majority of things you can do remotely. And it's just a matter of figuring it out and making it productive time and efficient. And I have to juggle just as much as anyone in the office would need to juggle. Yeah, they don't have a 5-year-old interrupting them, but you learn how to figure things out, and you work around your schedule at work or at home, and you just make it work. The work's got to get done. So
Yeah.
I always tell people, I could be working at 6 a.m., I could be working at 11 p.m. Doesn't matter for me, but whatever works in my house.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So how does a client get billed? Are you billing them hourly, and how do they kind of engage your time then?
I have different packages available. So the best form of figuring out how much I'm going to cost for you is to book a discovery call with me and to see what it is you need, because I do have different social media packages, I have administrative packages, I also offer different services that are kind of on the side that are like meal planning for people, just because that's a hobby of mine and I enjoy.
Wow.
Yeah, so I kind of have a pretty big stash of recipes, so I figure I might as well offer that to people, because you know what? Sometimes the CEO is busy in the office, but he's also busy at home. So, if I can take that stress away in different ways, whatever works for them. So I also offer some services for locally for some of the local businesses in Fort McMurray. You can hire me as an EA for a day. So you get a big meeting, conference, I can help come run that or plan that and be your feet on the ground. Obviously someone on the other side of Canada can hire me too, but you're going to end up paying for me to get there. So, but best course of action is to contact me, and we can touch base and see what your needs are, and
Yeah.
customize it to what exactly you need. And like I said, if you're uneasy, you can start small and grow from there. We're here to
Right.
support you.
So like if I was like, I don't really know what I need you to do, or this is new, could I say to you, okay, well, maybe I want 2 hours a week, and then I could give you some ideas, and then we kind of see what fits within that time frame, right? So I could also build a budget, and then we could see what we accomplish in that time frame too.
Yep, we can work and customize whatever people need. I'm not free, obviously it's a business, but I'm also willing to work with people. I mean, like that's my goal, is to take the stress off your plate. And I know everyone has different needs and different budget needs, and I try to fit something within there.
I love it. So for people that maybe are still like me and they're still like, I don't really know what I would use you for. So I've heard social media. So do you do like Facebook posts, LinkedIn posts, Instagram posts, all those kinds of things?
Yep, we can do. I do content calendars, so I can plan out, a month, 6 months, a year of content for you, so you can see what you're going to post when on where. I can actually create the content for you. I can repurpose your content you already have going if you've been kind of active, but I can make it look pretty. I can actually do the posts, schedule them for you. I can help revamp your profiles and your pages to fit your brand. And if you don't have a consistent brand, I can work with you on making sure that we get that. Because you know what, you're busy doing what you got to do as a business owner. You need to focus on that. You don't need to
Yeah.
focus on, oh, I need to post on this, and oh, now I'm gonna post on this, and am I engaging with my clients? Like, you don't want slow turnaround on your engagements, and
Yes.
that's what I can do, and that is a huge time saver for a lot of businesses.
Yes, so much, because some people are like, oh my goodness. I know, like even me, Instagram was new and I was like, I can't deal with any more social medias. But then, I got over it. But still, different clients, different people are going to be on different platforms. So you
Yes.
need to communicate in the method that they're communicating. And also your brand voice needs to be consistent.
Yes.
And some people don't really necessarily know what that is or what that means. So you're walking them through that, because my goodness, someone messaged me on LinkedIn the other day, like prospecting me for their business, and they don't even have a picture. I'm sorry, but I want at least a picture. Who the heck are you, right? I want to know who you are before I'm engaging with you, because my first thought is like, are you a robot? Like, are you even
Yeah.
real? Like, put a picture on there. It's like you're investing the time to be on the platform, but you really like don't
You're
even
not
have it
utilizing.
set up properly, right? And so you're hurting yourself instead of actually, you're thinking you're spending time growing your business, but instead you're actually hurting yourself, and you're taking time away from doing something that could be revenue producing but
Yes.
yet you're doing something that you think is going to help you, but it's actually really just wasting your time.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And you'd be amazed. I go through Facebook and I look at different businesses and I'm thinking, I'm not sure what you were thinking. And I just want to take you and go, I can help you.
I
But
know, I know. I'm not perfect, but sometimes, you get an email from someone. I'm like, okay, listen, let me give you some tips. But then you don't want to be rude, but like, really, you need some tips, right?
yeah, and
But we don't know this. How do we know?
and I especially the local, I know we've been through so much locally, but I'm a big believer of, support local, but this is how I can support them. Let's make your business really shine for what it is, because I mean, so many of these small businesses are just amazing. And I mean, I've learned about a ton recently. I didn't even know we're here. And
Yes.
they're not present, they're not doing that engagement. And unfortunately, in today's land and world, where everything's online, and love it or hate it, you got to be on Facebook, you got to be on Instagram, you got to be on the right platform for your business, whatever that is. And I think a lot of people just don't know. They maybe have their own profile and they kind of just post pictures of
Yeah,
the
they
kids and
don't
dog.
know. They don't have the time to learn it. Again, they might be a great hairstylist or a great plumber or a great crafter or a great food producer, like all these different businesses. But that doesn't mean that you're, a bookkeeper. You're not an accountant. You're not a marketer. You're not all these things. And so then you become overwhelmed and it bogs you down and it really does stagnate your growth, I think, right?
Takes away from their business when you think about it. I mean, you got into your business because you had a passion for it. Or most, you should. You should have a passion for your business. And if you're spending all your time doing all this piddly little stuff, you're not doing what the reason why you started your business. Let
Yes.
someone else handle that.
So much.
Handle that.
So we've got social media marketing. I imagine you would do an email campaigns then.
Yeah, I handle email. I'm more so on the organization end of it, whether it's your calendar, your email, your files. I like to organize. I'm weird that way, but like give me a mess and I dive in and I'm happy. But sometimes just organizing things for people helps them work more efficiently.
Yes.
And if they still want to be the ones responding to their clients, that's absolutely fine. But at least if I can clean it up and get them working more efficiently, then it's not such a task. You're not looking at that red circle on your email saying you have 500 emails you haven't read and panicking every day, and just you get to that point where you don't even want to look at it, right? So it's sometimes organization is the foundation to
Totally.
working more.
Yeah.
More.
So when you say organization, do you mean you're physically coming in and maybe like organizing someone's pile of papers, or what does that mean?
As much as I'd love to dive in some filing cabinets, no. No, again, you have access to the company's systems, and I can get in there, and we would have conversations before that and figure out, how do you want it organized? Everyone has different techniques, different systems, different ways. In law firms, some were by client number, some were by name. So everyone's got a different way. So I want to do what works for you. So if you have an idea, then I can kind of go from that and run with it. But if you don't, I can make suggestions. I'm
Yeah.
great at that. And
Okay.
then it's just the time consuming task of moving it. It's not something that you physically need to go into. Yes, everyone's got filing cabinets that need to be organized, and I'd be happy to do that, but I can't be everywhere.
Okay, awesome. That gives me such a better idea of what you do. As so many things, basically, depending on whatever it is, like she said, whatever it is that is kind of bogging you down, have a discussion with Pamela and just see what are her ideas to try and take that off your plate so that you could do something else and make sure your business is healthy in another area, right? It's huge value, and everyone is learning how to work remotely right now, so you can too.
Yep.
You might not be a Fort McMurray, but that doesn't mean that you can't use her service,
Yes.
because we're virtual now, right?
Okay.
I think it's a great thing. I'm excited for you and your
Thank
business to be growing. So congratulations on your opening. I know I've been kind of watching you the last couple months when you're launching and things like that. So I'm excited. I think there's definitely a market there for it, even before COVID, and maybe now more so afterwards. And it's really neat to see you grow. So I'm excited to see your updates. Please post a link to your page if you have it, your email address, however someone can contact you. Post that in the comments so people can get in contact with you and have this exploratory call and see how they can start to release themselves from the mundane tasks and let someone else do it. You don't have to be a martyr in your business. It's okay. You can let someone else do that, and Pamela would be happy to do it for you.
Yes, I would. Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So this week we're finishing Canada United week. What the heck is that? All right. We've all been through some stuff, but the fact is that businesses are so important to our communities, and we need them more than ever. Without them, we don't have a community, but we need to support them so they can support us. That means being local. Fort McMurray, if you're in Fort McMurray, like whatever town you're in, then the province you're in, then Canada-wide. But there's some cool stuff going on. Go CanadaUnited.ca. There's a contest running. There is a new $5,000 grant announced that is funded by RBC in combination with the Ontario Chamber of Commerce. They're the one administering it. So $5,000 grant can go towards technology upgrades to work remotely. It could go to PPE that you might need. There's a whole list of stuff there. I'm going to post a link to that. I just heard about it today. I'm excited. There's some parameters that you need to fall in to for size of business and stuff to be eligible for that grant, but that's really cool. The CEBA deadline, which is the Canada Assistance to Business, was extended. So if you're a small business and you have payroll over $20,000, you can easily apply. If you don't have payroll over $20,000, there is a path for you to apply. It's a little bit more difficult. You have to submit some expense receipts and stuff like that. But $10,000 of that $40,000 loan is forgivable if you pay it within a certain time frame. So I don't know if the government is ever going to grant your business $10,000 again. You may want to take it up even if you don't think you need it right now. We don't know what the next 6 months is going to hold, because we certainly couldn't have predicted the last 6 months. And people like Pamela and I that have lived through wildfires and floods and all these different things know that your recovery usually takes much longer than you ever think it's going to. So please do apply for that. If you don't know how to apply, I'm guessing people like Pamela can help you. I know there's other places that are helping folks do that, but it's not as hard as you think. So consider it, because it is important, and your business is important to us to survive. Yeah. We want to make sure as many of us as possible get through this time. So thank you, Pamela, for joining me. I hope that this gave people some value. Hopefully it gave them some ideas of how they can use a virtual assistant if they're feeling bogged down. Even if they're not feeling bogged down, take it to the next level. There's always something you can be doing to grow your business to the next level. And the more you can release yourself from some of those tasks, the more you're able to do that. So thank you again for joining me. I hope you guys have a great day. Post your links, Pamela. I'm going to post mine. Please share this video and help us get the word about virtual assisting and how that might help people's business. Thanks a lot and have a great day.